Hello class, my name is Daniel Dwyer, and today I'll be talking about the destruction of the Amazon rainforest in Brazil. Now for the background information on Brazil. The official name of Brazil is Federal Republic of Brazil. The form of government of Brazil is a democratic federal republic. The capital of Brazil is Brasilia, and it's on the east coast of Brazil. The population of Brazil is almost 209 million people, which is one of the larger populations in the world. Also, too, the official language of Brazil is Portuguese, due to the fact that Brazil was colonized by the Portuguese Empire. Brazil is the largest country in South America. They border Colombia, Venezuela, Argentina, Paraguay, Bolivia, Peru, Venezuela, Guyana, Suriname, and lastly, French Guiana. Who is Greenpeace? Greenpeace is a non-government organization. Greenpeace was founded in 1971 in Canada in the province of British Columbia. Greenpeace has headquarters in 55 different nations where they fight local governments and corporations, and they stand up with the local people to stop climate injustices from happening and trying to halt climate change from becoming worse than it is right now. And at the bottom, you can read Greenpeace's mission statement, which is, we act in the defense of our planet through different means. We promote the knowledge and public awareness, social mobilization, and political articulation for different causes, always independent, and only this way we can denounce environmental criminals and confront governments and companies that threaten the environment. Today I will be discussing the Amazon rainforest. The Amazon rainforest is one of the largest rainforests in the world. The Amazon rainforest is home to more than 24 million people in just Brazil alone. Therefore, there are hundreds of thousands of indigenous people living in this area. Within those 100,000 people, of indigenous people, there are hundreds of indigenous groups. The Amazon rainforest is a place of enormous amount of biodiversity, which I would say, in my personal opinion, is the definition of biodiversity as we know it today. The Amazon rainforest is a habitat to over 10% of our planet's animals and plants. There are roughly around 40,000 different species of plants, around 400 mammals, with close to 1,300 different types of bird species, and lastly, over 1 million different types of bugs. What is a cash crop and what is clear cutting? Cash crop is an agricultural crop which people grow just to make money. Cash crop farmers are large corporations that are not small-scale farmers. This term is used to distinguish market crops versus local crops where people would sell to market. Clear cutting is a logging habit where they cut mostly or even all trees in one huge area. The act of clear cutting is the most popular way to cut down trees and is the most economically profitable way to make money from logging. There are always consequences when it comes to clear cutting. For example, there is a loss of topsoil, which is important to farming. Clear cutting is there to build land, cattle ranches, and mining. The first point, which we'll be taking a look at today, is the Brazilian president. Jair Bolsonaro, the Brazilian president, during his campaign, wants to pull out of the Paris Agreement due to the fact that Bolsonaro does not believe in climate change caused by humans. Bolsonaro has tried to change the environment laws of Brazil, and there has been a decline in the relationship with environmental groups who have done amazing work in the past. Another point is that President Bolsonaro is known as Tropical Trump. There are many similarities with these two presidents. The main point to their similarities is that they both agree that getting rid of environmental laws will benefit their country for pre-capitalistic profit. There have been many areas of the Amazon which have been protected through the decades. But the Amazon is under attack Due to the lack of protection under the government of Jair Bolsonaro, who is destroying the biodiversity of the Amazon rainforest for corporate greed. What's happening in the Amazon rainforest? Cash crops, cattle ranching, and mining are a big reason for the deforestation of the Amazon. The main largest cash crops are soybeans, coffee, and sugar. These cash crops in Brazil bring in a lot of money and huge economical resources for Brazil. Brazil is now home to one of the largest industries of cattle, soybeans, and mining. In the last decade, the year 2015 to 2016 was the worst for the Amazon rainforest due to the fact that there was a 29% increase in clear cutting of the Amazon rainforest. They cut down over 11,800 kilometers of trees and killing the local wildlife in the process for farming, cattle ranching, and mining. The deforestation has caused many wildlife species to the brink of extinction. Soybean production. Soybean production is Brazil's largest cash crop. On the top hand, left hand corner, you're going to see what a soybean farm looks like. If you look at the mountains in the picture, you can see that there's no trees there anymore due to clear cutting. Also, too, the bottom of the picture, you're going to see the soybean plant, which they grow on. Also, too, with them always growing the same crop over and over again, it destroys the land, so you cannot farm another crop there again. In the bottom left-hand corner, you're going to see a chart where it shows you that from 2012 to 2022, soybean production doubled in Brazil. Lastly, you're going to see a graph that soybean production in Brazil in 2018 was the largest in the world. And also, too, in the pie chart, you're going to see all the different type of countries which Brazil exports their soybeans to. On this slide, we'll be talking about cattle farming. In the bottom right-hand corner, you're going to see the map of Brazil. And the darker of the color means there are more cattle farmers, and the lighter the color, the least amount of cattle there is. You can see in the graph, the darker it is, the more closer they are to deforestation of this area. While in the graph here, it shows us the prices of beef is a huge amount in Brazil, so the companies are making a huge amount of money off of this product. Also, too, in the chart, you can see where Brazil exports their beef to around the world. Also, lastly, in the left-hand corner, you're going to see the picture of the Amazon rainforest, and you're going to see cattle in it. Also, too, cattle is not a natural species to the Amazon rainforest. Indigenous rights. The indigenous people in Brazil have been fighting to keep their land from deforestation for 30 years. The data shows us that illegal mining, logging, and other lands in the Amazon, which are protected by laws, has been happening on their land due to the government of President Jair Bolsonaro. This is a huge issue because of human rights, environmental protection issues, mining, and logging. Other land affected the landscape of the area. With the mining, it pollutes the indigenous people's waters. During the Brazilian president's address to the United Nations General Assembly on the 21st of September 2021, Bolsonaro said, "In freedom on reserves totaling 1.1 million square kilometers of land, equivalent to 14% of Brazil's territory." Another point that the president of Brazil has stated that indigenous people have too much land. Bolsonaro did not respond back to any questions about illegal activity by his government. This is once again proves that the government of Brazil only cares about profits and economical gains that they can get. While in this slide, you can see that there's two pictures. One is a graph on the left-hand corner. You can see the rate of deforestation per year in the Amazon. You can clearly see that in 2003 to 2004 was the biggest deforestation year in the Amazon, that when most of the trees were cut down. But if you look for the last decade, there's been a slow and huge decline of cutting down trees. But due to the rise of President Bolsonaro, there's been a rapid increase of deforestation. Also, too, You can take a look at the mining in the right-hand corner. You see the map underlining Brazil. You could see in the green that these territories are indigenous people and they have the right to claim the land to do whatever they want with it. But in the orange, you can see that the president is doing corporate gains and corporate greed and setting mining corporations in there, so the people are protesting against that. And also, too, in the right-hand corner, you can see the mining increase per square kilometer per year. And also, too, it has taken a huge increase since the Brazilian president has been in charge of this country. On this slide, we're going to be taking a look at Brazilian mines. So the top-hand left corner of the picture, you're going to see a top bird's eye view of what a mine looks like from an airplane. You can see that it's clear cutting and destroying the Amazon rainforest, because you look at the jungle, then you're going to see a mine right in the middle of it, which destroys a natural habitat. On the bottom left-hand corner, you're going to see an iron ore mine in Brazil, which iron ore is one of the main exports what the Brazilians mine for, which just destroys the natural habitat of this region. Lastly, you will see a picture of Brazil, the outline of the map. You see all the mines in the dots, which in those different dots, colors, there are different types of mines. And lastly, you're going to see all the major corporations, which are backed by the Brazilian government. Latin American and the Caribbean environmental politics. The Brazilian government is making a huge amount of money off their economy by allowing big corporations to farm, log, and mine their land. The Brazilian government does not care about the people of Brazil or the world. Deforestation is destroying one of the Earth's largest rainforests, which provides oxygen for the world. The Brazilian government is making things worse in the case of climate change because they are encouraging these harmful effects towards the land. The government of Brazil does not care about indigenous rights of their land. The Brazilian government only cares about turning these lands into a profit. These governments are like colonizing powers, where they only care about making profit of the land instead of worrying about the problem that could occur due to these issues. And the only thing what the Brazilian government cares about is making profits and not caring about the local indigenous peoples who've been living here for centuries, and not caring about the small people in the world's opinions, and just doing whatever they want to do. In conclusion, the president is taking advantages of indigenous and his own citizens by making profit off of the land. He is focusing on income of money instead of acknowledging the environmental issues that are affecting climate change. If deforestation continues, it will have everlasting effects on the environment as we know it today. We need to move away from capitalistic ideologies and give power to the people who are being affected by this. Thank you for listening, and here's my works cited page.